So, what's the process and the costs associated with opening a driving school here in Canada?
Something you will find way less information on internet to open a driving school. So first step, driving instructor license.
As an immigrant, did you find easy or difficult to open a driving school?
After getting my permanent residency, things were quite easy for me.
So, what is the step-by-step process for obtaining a driver's license in Ontario from G1 learner's permit to a full G license?
First, I'll tell you as in journal. You need to be 16 or above
Okay.
to get your G1. Basically the three classes G1, G2 and G.
G. What's the biggest difference between the G2 and G license test and the driving restrictions?
G test is not about driving, it's more about observation skills when you're going for your G. For me personally, I will say do not drink and drive. Regardless of you have G2 or G, please do not drive if you even have a minor alcohol in your body. Don't do it. Why to do that?
Good evening, Sudbury. You are listening to Beyond the Borders live on CKLU FM 96.7, CKLU.ca, and Radio Player Canada app in Canada and all over the world. You are weekly breeze to inspiring journeys and community success stories. Before we dive into today's show, I want to take a moment to wish a very, very happy Easter to all our listeners celebrating across Canada and around the world. Happy Easter to everyone celebrating today. May your day be filled with love, laughter, and the joy of new beginnings. From all of us at Beyond the Borders and CKLU FM, have a full, beautiful Easter Sunday. Dreams don't come with a roadmap, but sometimes they lead you to build one. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Mr. Gurmandeep Singh Bajaj, a man who landed in Canada in 2019 with little more than ambition and a heart for helping others. Today, he is the driving force behind Bajaj Driving School, where he's not just teaching people how to drive, he's steering lives towards freedom. Armed with grit and a diploma in human resources, a razor-sharp business sense, Gurmandeep has helped over 500 individuals earn their licenses, transforming strangers into confident and independent drivers. On Beyond the Borders, we celebrate stories that break barriers and spark inspirations. So today, tune in as Gurmandeep shares how he shifted gears from struggle to success and turning his newcomer journey into a masterclass in resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about none other than the very own Gurmandeep Singh Bajaj. He's the owner and operator of Bajaj Driving School, which is MTO approved, which is at Barrington Street, Sudbury. Yes, 5 years ago, he landed in Canada with nothing but a suitcase, bold dreams, and a mission to serve. Today, he's not just running Bajaj Driving School, he's reviving up lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Gurmandeep Singh Bajaj. Let's hit the road. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Arjun ji, and thanks for having me. And I'm looking forward to it. And happy Easter to the listeners. A very happy Easter.
Thank you so much, Gomanji. You came here, even if you have busy schedules, you have lots many students, individuals, you know, you are there, but you find your time and came in here. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem, anytime. It's for anything for the community.
Beautiful. So let's start up with this first question. Gurmandeep, you came to Canada in 2019 with a dream to build a business, just like your family did back home. What was the toughest part of starting over in Canada in Sudbury, and how did your upbringing prepare you for those challenges? Tell us more about your journey from India to Canada.
So let's set the stage now, eh? Okay, so yeah, I came here as an international student in 2019. Have done Bachelor's of Commerce, specialized in finance. Came here in 2019, did couple of courses over here, Human Resource Management and Business Analytics. Luckily, I got permanent resident in 2021, the year when I completed my studies. I got graduated in 2021, and luckily I got permanent residency too. So with that particularly year, after getting a permanent resident, I find so many opportunities. Doors are open for me. As if I was permanent resident, I can do whatever I want to do in ahead in my life. As if I come from business family, so that actually motivated me to open my own business, because I had that in my mind that I have to do a business when I came over to Canada. I was like, okay, let's find out where I have to go to, what profession I have to choose, and I tried couple, but unfortunately, luck never works for you every time. So yeah, eventually I ended up being a driver instructor, and then as if I did so many part-time jobs during my study period in Canada. I explored so much. I realized what's the need, how to do the customer service and everything, which actually led me to open my own business. And here you go, I'm running a business right now. It's a dream come true kind of thing.
You work as a security supervisor before becoming a driving instructor, right?
Yeah.
What inspired that career change, and what's the biggest difference between teaching driving and your past jobs, if you have to say a few?
I mean, when I was student here, I tried so many jobs. I mean, I've done so many part-time jobs. After my graduation, when I graduated, I got this opportunity to become a security supervisor because of my last jobs, experiences, and everything. What I realized, to do a job is very important as well. Even if you want to start your own business, I feel like the jobs which I have done helped me to understand the culture, because I was in a new country, to understand the culture, the skill sets, what Canadian market requires. On top of that, the discipline, because previously it was my own business back home. So that discipline which was missing in me, I feel like after becoming a security supervisor, that discipline came in me, and that actually helped me and motivated me to open my own business. The duties, the skill set, what I got it from security supervisor, I have to deal with so many people at that time. I led the group. I was the leader for so many security guards at that moment. There was a point when I was assisting Red Cross project. So there were almost 140 security guards under me.
Wow.
So that was those challenges. From those challenges, I feel like I got that inspiration to open my own business.
So, what exactly inspired you to become a driving instructor in Sudbury?
So when I was exploring different opportunities and tried couple of other things as well, after doing those things, I realized there was a gap, because while exploring different opportunities, I used to talk with so many students. There were newcomers over here and the old ones too. So the one thing in common when it comes for because we were dealing with, we like, to be honest, I was flipping some used cars as well in that time. So when I was flipping cars, I used to talk with different people, newcomers and international students. And also one thing in common, I realized that there was a gap for driver instructor. There was no such licensed driver instructor. There were a few, but there was no licensed driver instructor. There was very less. So I find that gap. There was a vacuum. I jumped into it, and then there you go. I'll find it like that is the best way to give back to the community. I feel like by giving good drivers to the community, I mean making the road safe for others. What else you need?
What's the situation right now? The licensed certified driving instructor.
By now, I would say there are a number of driving instructors now available as compared to 3 years or 4 years back. If we just talk about our South Asian community, there are almost 12 to 15 instructors by now.
12 to 15 instructor.
Yeah, but when I started, there was just one.
Oh my God.
So they're like, I mean, we can say we have inspired few to become a driving instructor, and now there are almost 12 to 15 instructors. And everyone is doing great job. They're doing good stuff. I mean, I would say
12 to 15 certified driving instructor here in Sudbury.
yes.
So seems like
just in South Asian community.
from South Asian community.
Yes.
So it's like there is a huge opportunity for immigrants, or let's say from South Asian community, isn't it? So I want you to tell me what steps and qualifications do you need to become a certified driving instructor in Ontario, and how long does it take, and how much does it take?
Okay. To become a driving instructor, first step, you must have done your high school, 18 years and above, 4 years of driving experience, and fourth one will be, you have to go to the drive test center, collect your driver's instructor package that costs you around somewhere $117.25. Then you have to pay for your application fees, that is somewhere around $120. In the application package, you have to go with the vision test, knowledge test, and your road test. Again, you have, regardless of you have your G license, you still have to go with vision test, knowledge test, and road test. And in knowledge test and road test, you get 2 chances only. If you fail twice, even in knowledge test or road test, you have to wait for another whole year to qualify for a driving. So once you get all those things done, then you have to choose your college. I believe there are just 3 colleges in Ontario: PDIO, Humber, and Centennial. I chose PDIO. PDIO has different branches in different cities as well, where they give you in-car training. So the course is the length. If we talk about the length for the course, is around 15 days, 2 weeks for online classes. There are online classes, and then 15 days in car training. So almost a month it takes for full-time student to get it done. There are options for the part-time as well, so it may varies from 6 months to 3 months, whatever they choose for. Other than that, once they get the certification from the college, they have to get their vulnerable sector check done. Again, $120. Oh, sorry, I forget to tell you the fees for the course as well. So it varies from college to college, somewhere from $3,000 to $3,500. Other than that, once your vulnerable sector check is done, you have to take all the documents and submit it to the drive test center. So basically, you're submitting all the documents to the MTO. MTO takes around 2 to 3 weeks to review all those documents. Once those documents are reviewed, you have to go back to the drive test center and check on them whether it's done or not. Once if it's done, the drive test center will give you your temporary instructor license, and there you go. You can start your journey from there.
All right. So after receiving your certifications, driving instructor certifications, what challenges you faced as a new driving instructor during the first few years?
I mean, there are a couple of challenges. I would say, first challenge I would say is to get your first student. To be honest, that is a challenge, but we'll come to that later on. But
Sure.
Yeah, the challenge, I feel the biggest challenge is to deal with nervous and difficult students, the anxious students. I mean, there are so many students who are feeling they have the trauma, they have past traumas from driving, they might get involved into an accident or something like that. So first thing, anxious students, traumatized students, nervous students who are driving it for the first time, they have never driven in their life. On top of that, there are some students who will be like, okay, we know some stuff, but at the end when they come behind the wheels, they mess up everything. So you have to deal with all kind of situations. So for that, I would say, for an instructor, what they have to keep in mind is they have to control their nerves first. Patience is the important thing. You have to bring different techniques, approaches for different students. You cannot train students with the same skill set. You cannot just copy paste to each student. You have to bring different approach every time for different students.
Right.
Patience is very important, because eventually at the end of the day, you are the one who is taking care of the student and yourself, plus the vehicle as well, and the other drivers on the road as well. So it's first year is very crucial because you're learning at that stage, and most of the instructors quit at the same time because it is not easy, to be honest.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
But it's not impossible as well.
I mean, definitely sitting in front of you,
Right. So let's come to your Bajaj driving school. You built Bajaj driving school from the ground up. What inspired you to start your own driving school?
I
And
mean,
that what's one moment you felt, yes, I made it?
I would say I'm still trying to make it to the best. Every day we are struggling for that. But trust me, the entrepreneurial spirit, what I had it from back home, I mean, as if we come from a business family, I come from a business family, done business for last 4 to 5 years. When I was in India, I was helping my father. Again, moved to Canada and different opportunities hit, and I was already in a driving instructor for 1.5 year, almost 1.5 year before opening my Bajaj driving school. While working, I realized okay, what is missing was customer service first. Secondly, while working as a driving instructor for some other school, I mean, I was quite restricted to a particular community I was serving. I was a particular community. I wasn't serving to the whole, as in whole. My ambition was to not just to serve South Asian community. I wanted to serve other communities from different countries as well, plus the Sudbury community itself too.
Right.
So I would say that was a kind of a way to give it back to the Sudbury, because Sudbury has given me a lot too.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now let's talk the procedures and typical cost associated with opening a driving schools. You never know, somebody is listening to us and they wanted to open a driving school in the days to come, in the future, you know. So what's the process and the costs associated with opening a driving school here in Canada?
Definitely, like it's something you will find way less information on internet to open a driving school. And so first step, again, driving instructor license must. You need to have instructor license. No tickets, zero demerit points on your license. Third, you have to get your business number or your corporation registered. Fourth, you need to get a driving school license. So there are different agencies who are going to help you to get your driving school license. Basically, you can reach out to them and they will give you a checklist. You have to fill those all documents, prepare all those documents, and they will submit on behalf of you and get you started. I mean, and once everything is done, so there are two kinds of driving school. One is in who provides online training circulars, and another one in class trainings. So if you need to go with in class, you need to have a in class training license as well. So again, you have to go to the school, a long process. Mostly people choose online circular programs. So that is mostly home based driving school. You can easily get that one through a third party agency, and they'll help you to open up your home based driving school. And once your driving school is open, you need to get your insurance and your own auto insurance and your business cards and start marketing.
All right. So, of course, I'm sure you had faced some hurdles, some challenges while registering your Bajaj driving school. So, if you have faced any and your experience, and how did you overcome them?
I mean, experiences, if I would say, opening up my own driving school, the main challenge was information was very restricted on the internet. I tried reaching out to MTO, whatever the guidelines they have sent it to me on an email. Trust me, it's hard to understand like how to cope up with those guidelines, what they are asking to do. Until unless I haven't met with that third party agency, it was quite hard for me to open up my own driving school. So there was just Google party agencies. There will be a number of like agencies you can get started with. But yes, individually if you are going through, it's very hard because there are online circulars. You have to connect with the different driving schools. They will provide you their online circulars, and it's very cluttered. On top of that, there's no actual phone number to connect with MTO and customer service to ask about how to open a driving school. They just have an email. You just have to send them an email. That's it, nothing else.
So, as per your experience as an immigrant, did you find easy or difficult to open a driving school here in Canada as an immigrant?
That's what I mean. Like after getting my permanent residency, things were quite easy for me.
Okay.
first to get my business license number and my corporation registered. It was pretty easy afterwards because the day I become permanent resident, the second step was to get my corporation number, like to register my corporation. That's what I did.
Okay.
I had that ambition to open my own school. To open my own business in Canada. So I know first thing is to get your corporation done.
Okay.
Other than that, I would say the things which I have tried before opening my driving school, that actually helped me a lot. I mean, I won't say I failed in those things, but I learned a lot out of things. So those things helped me to get a path, easy way path, because I wasn't quitting at the time because I've already tried so many things before. So this was like, okay, no, I have to get this thing done. At least once I have to climb up to the mountain and then I'll see how it looks like,
Yeah, right.
So then I will decide whether it's good for me or not. So that was the kind of thing.
All right, okay, now let's head towards procedure obtaining a driver's license in Ontario. This is going to be very, very beneficial for new drivers or the newcomers, those who are planning to, obtain the driver license in Ontario. Many newcomers struggles with Ontario's licensing process. So what is the step-by-step process for obtaining a driver's license in Ontario from G1 learner's permit to a full G license?
Okay, so first I'll tell you as in journal, what's the process.
Okay.
You need to be 16 or above
Okay.
to get your G1. Basically the three classes, G1, G2 and G.
G.
So once you're 16 plus, you can go for your knowledge vision test and your knowledge test. That is called a G1. Fee will be around $160, which includes your G2 fees as well. Once you get your G1, you have to wait for a whole year to give your G2, but you can reduce the 4 months by coming to me or to any other registered driving school. So we will provide you the beginner's driver education course. Once students get enrolled in that and they have completed that beginner's driver education course certificate, their 4 months will be reduced from their waiting period. They'll be allowed to go for their G2 after 8 months. Once they pass their G2, then they have to wait for another whole year and then they can appear for their G. Most of the student gives me a call and asks me, there's an interesting thing. Most of the student gives me a call and asks me, can we reduce our wait period from G2 to G by getting beginner's driver education course? I mean, no. The answer is clearly no.
Okay.
You cannot reduce your time from G2 to G if you don't had any past experience. You cannot reduce your time. You have to wait for a whole year to be qualified for your G after giving your G2. Now, from a newcomer perspective, who is coming to the Canada, you have to go and give your G1. That is very important. You cannot skip your G1.
Where to go?
Drive test center.
Okay.
Search for local drive test center. You have to go there and give your G1.
Okay.
And a humble request to all the newcomers, please don't wait for your studies to get done and then plan for your G1. No. Once you come here, it's same as it's important to open your GIC account, collecting your SIN number. It's same, it's just that thing, you have to go to the drive test and get your G1 because then you don't have to carry your passport everywhere, you'll get the physical ID, keep that ID and use that ID everywhere instead of using your passport. So please go and get your G1 if you haven't got it yet. First thing. Secondly, if you have, when you are planning to come to the Canada especially, and so for your driving license, I would highly recommend to have your driving abstract from your home country. Regardless of which country you are, each country has their driving abstract. Get your driving abstract. Doesn't matter whether it's for 1 month, 2 months, your experience, on your license, 1 month, 2 months or 6 months or 6 years or whatever. Doesn't matter. Please have your driving abstract because that will eventually help you in reducing your time as well. Wait time from G2 or G. So if you have 1 year of experience from your home country, you can reduce your 1 year of wait time from G1 to G. If you have 2 years of experience, you can reduce your you can skip your G2 basically, and direct from G1 to G. You can go for G directly. There's no wait time. Other than that, if you don't have your abstract and your back home license says you have experience more than 2 years, you can always skip the wait period for G1 to G2. They will simply give you the credits and they will allow you to go for your G2 right away, even if you don't have your abstract. So that will help. I mean, please. And secondly, the abstract should not be expired. It has a 6 months of validity. Validity.
Right, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Once you land, that's the first step you should do. Go and get your G1.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for setting light on that important aspect. As a newcomer, they do not focus on that thing. What's the biggest difference between the G2 and G license test and the driving restrictions?
Okay. For G2,
It seems the same. Everybody says the same. You can drive, you can go anywhere in Canada.
it is,
Yeah.
but it is not for minors. Someone who is less than 18 or
16,
19.
18.
19, I mean, I would
Okay.
say 18 or 19. So it depends on the minors, it's different. But if someone is who is like, who I would say, then there's no restrictions for them except the alcohol. And I would say it's, for me personally, I will say do not drink and drive, regardless of you have G2 or G. Please do not drive if you even have a minor alcohol in your body. Don't do it. Why to do that? I mean, so it's useless. But anyways, for G2, if you're looking for a drive test, so in G2 you have to do couple of lane changes. More about residential in it. You have to do 3-point turn, parallel parking, uphill, downhill, and a reverse parking, and your test will be done. So it's somewhere around 15 minutes of test. But on the other side, if we go for G, you don't as if after COVID the manuals have been changed. So now if someone is going for G, they don't have to do parallel parking, they don't have to do 3-point turn, they don't have to do uphill or downhill, they don't have to do reverse parking. So basically they will take you on the highway. And one thing I tell to my students, whoever are going for G test is not about driving, it's more about observation skills when you're going for your G.
Right.
So if you're going for your G test and you're just driving and you're not paying attention to the minor things, for example, you're crossing a red light and you're not checking left and right. When you're crossing through the lights, I mean not the red lights, I mean when you're crossing through the lights and you're not checking left or right, your marks will be deducted. Because it's about observation. After every 10 seconds you have to check your all three mirrors. The reason where most of the students ask me why we have to check left and right, I mean what's the point? Because if the light is green and we are going through it, why we have to check left and right? Because they have the red light on the other side and people will stop anyways. The reason for checking left and right and the mirrors after 10 seconds is to check for the emergency vehicles.
Yes.
There could be emergency vehicle on your left or on your right. Or they could be behind. So you have to check the mirrors and left and right on the intersections to check for the emergency vehicles. If there is so, you have to pull over because you have to give them away first.
That's the law.
That's the law. So you have to show your observation in your G test. And in G2 it's more about driving basically. So the concept behind G2 is for the new drivers. So they emphasize on driving. But in G, yes, they have some expectations from you too, that you know how to drive, but now you have to show the observations as well.
Okay.
So
alright.
that's the difference.
That's the difference. Now it's clear. You have helped over 500 people get their licenses. And what's one moment or student story that touched your heart? And what do you find to be the most rewarding part of being a driving instructor?
First is this, like when they pass, that moment is amazing, to be honest. When we were kids, when we used to pass and we see our teachers, why they are so happy on our success. Now I can relate those moments. First. Secondly, I would say the impact which I am a part of their journey, and I'm bringing an impact in their lives, and I'm looking at them, transforming them from anxious, nervous, underconfident drivers to a confident and independent drivers. When I'm looking at them on the roads and they're driving individually, independently, and that brings. Other than that, I would say there are incidents I've seen where students are struggling just because of their driving license. Their path is stuck in regards of employment. Most of the jobs requires driving license at least G2.
Right.
And again, here's the thing: please go and get your G1 ASAP, because the time when you'll be graduating and you'll be hunting for your jobs and you don't have a past experience of driving, you will be stuck.
Right.
That what I have seen most of the time.
That's the bitter truth. Yeah.
I mean, that is the situation, and I've seen so many times when students are, is there any way? Then they go for they try to find the shortcuts, but in Canada, no shortcuts work. There's no shortcuts to get your license. You have to follow the process and the procedures. So I have seen there are so many students who are struggling for their jobs and then they don't have their license. So when they get the license and then eventually they get the job, that moment is good when they do good in their path, and I can proudly say that I've been a part of their journey to that success. So that inspires me the most now.
What's the most emotional moment, if you have to remember any, as a driving instructor?
I would like to share one story then. I had one. I always tell examples to most of the my students. I had one Nepali student.
Okay.
It's 2.5 years back, I would say. She tried couple of other driving instructors, and she was so much underconfidence, I would say, at that time, nervous and demotivated. Because, she was 30 plus, I would say.
Okay.
She was 30 plus. So she had her own challenges, first. Secondly, whom she was seeing before as a driving instructor had quit on them. They said, we cannot train you because of your age, you cannot learn. So just quit this idea that to get a license, just use the transport, you cannot drive. They have just said those statements to her, and she was so much demotivated. And then her colleague, eventually she was my student before, so she suggested her that go and see him once, take one session. If you don't like him, just ignore him then. Otherwise, you can go and see him. I have a faith in him that he will help you eventually. And she came to me. I was like, I didn't know anything about her. So as I deal with every individual, I did the same thing. What I'm good in, I have done it. And she was so impressed. She used my services. She got her license. Before getting her license, when we were training, there were some breakdowns for her. I tried to motivate her as much as I can. And eventually the last motivational words what I told her was like, okay, when you get past, you'll go to the same instructor and show him your license and tell him, see, I got my license. If you have those students who are struggling with these situations, suggest to Gurman. Send them to the Gurman. So she was that kind of a thing, and I still have her review in my Google Maps profile, and I always look at her, and that inspires me the most. Whenever I get stuck with some students, difficult students, that story inspires me the most, and then I go back to that same zone, and I'll be like, no, I can't say no to anyone. I have to get this thing done. Like, if they have high hopes on me, if I won't do that, then it's a big disappointment. Why I'm here then? Those kind of things comes to me, and I'm like, no, I have to get this thing done. And I still She sent me so many students after that, but yeah, still, whomsoever I see, and if someone is demotivated, I always tell her story, and that is so motivational to me itself. And I mean, from that day, I was like, okay, I cannot quit on any student. I have to get this thing done by hook or
Beautiful.
crook.
Yeah, that's so inspiring to everybody who are listening to us right here. Oh, almost at the end, I do have a couple questions as well. So, coming to, immigrants often pay thousands for lessons here. So, what advice would you give to newcomers and newly licensed drivers, in short?
Okay, first thing, whosoever is coming as a newcomer to Canada, please learn how to drive in their home country, because that is more cheaper to learn back home compared to learn in Canada. There are so many myths. I'll break down those myths.
Sure.
That let's talk about South Asian community. They have that myth. Okay, if we're gonna learn back home, we have a right hand side steering wheel, and up here we have a left hand side steering wheel. We won't be able to cope up, so we don't know nothing. We'll go there and learn from the scratch. It's going to be easy. No, at least you get a hands on your steering wheel. You can be in a state where you can sync your gas and brake. You can operate those things quite a well. At least that knowledge will eliminate your 3 to 4 sessions over here, which will reduce their somewhere around $200 to $300 in their learning fees and everything, the training fees. If that will be reduced, it is going to be very less for them as well. Like, why to do those basic stuff that you can learn in way cheaper back home, or to learn over here? Then why to spend more?
Right.
Secondly, for the one who are here already, please stop chasing cheap options. If you google on if you look on marketplaces, there are so many unlicensed or illegal instructors out there. So they'll let's say they'll say we'll charge less, but eventually what will happen, they will give you, for example, if they'll give you 10 lessons and you pay less to them. Same way, if you come to any of the licensed instructor, instead of giving you 10 lessons, they can teach you all that knowledge in 3 to 4 lessons or 5 lessons. Still you're paying less to a licensed instructor compared to a illegal driving instructor,
Right.
because they don't have a dual brakes. First thing,
Right.
they will those unlicensed instructor will be are always underconfident to take you on the main roads, but as in licensed instructor have a dual brakes, they will always take you to the roads. They will always take you to the busy areas where you will learn more, compared to driving in a neighborhood where there's no cars, driving straight. So there's just a waste of money, trust me. I have so many students saying this afterwards, when they have already wasted this much of amount of money.
Okay. All right. So, Sudbury listeners want to know what makes Bajaj Driving School different from others, and how do you tailor lessons for nervous and inexperienced drivers? You already said one example. So, what makes Bajaj Driving School different from others?
So basically, we provide personalized trainings.
Okay.
We have modern day techniques. We try to make things more easier for a new driver. I'll give you a very basic example.
Sure.
In our everyday lives, whosoever even know how to drive, even they don't, sometimes we just ignore those things, but we are doing it eventually in our unconscious mind. For example, if we are making a right turn, you are making a 90-degree angle.
Okay.
So to turn right, students have the problem how much they are supposed to turn their steering wheel. Actual answer is 3/4. Just turn 3/4. Anyways, it will turn right. You won't hit anything.
Okay.
Simple. So I would say we, as in Bajaj Driving School, we try to make things easier in a way that we try to bring it more to the mathematical side sometimes, or try to bring more like relate things from your everyday things. For example, you clean dishes every day. Same technique you apply to operate the steering wheel. That is called push and pull technique. The way you clean your dishes, the same way you operate your steering wheel. Everyday life scenarios.
Right.
That is how we bring the change and make it easier for the students who don't know how to drive or first time drivers or something like that. So I'll personally make sure this thing my instructor told me when I was becoming a driving instructor. Students have a myth that parallel parking is very difficult. What I try to do is in the first session, I try to make them do a parallel parking. I tell them how to do a parallel parking, and when they do it, it is very easy to do it, obviously, and I'll give them tricks. And with that, they'll be like, "How we just did it in one go." That motivates them from scratch to to the peak. Like, oh, we have done the parallel parking the first day, and that's a big thing for them. So that motivates them a lot, and which brings a change and the confidence from underconfident to a confident person in their next sessions.
Almost at the end. How can someone book driving lessons with you?
You guys can, anyone, your listeners, anyone can call me at 249-879-1984 or find me on Google Maps. Just search for Bajaj Driving School. And I believe there's just one and only Bajaj Driving School in the town.
There is only one Bajaj Driving School here in Sudbury. So, what's your message to someone who has failed their road test multiple times? How do you rebuild their confidence?
First of all, there's no shortcut. Secondly, see a professional.
Okay.
Third, if someone is coming to me, don't be demotivated. I will help you if someone is struggling a lot. Pay me later. First get a results, I would say.
Wow.
I will make sure that you pass in one go. I'll give those tricks and tips. They will pass, because we don't just believe in making them pass. We believe in driving, they have to drive after their test as well. So we believe in those situations. Like, you have to be confident on the road. Once they are confident on the road, test is nothing.
So, how many provincial driving lessons do you typically recommend before a student attempts the G2 or G road test?
This is very personal. This is very
depends on
student to student.
Okay.
If they know, I'll say for G2, if they know how to drive,
okay,
maximum 2 lessons will be more than enough.
Wow.
It's useless to ask them, okay, no, take more lessons. No, 2 lessons will be more than enough for any individual who knows how to drive, even for G or G2, I would say. Just 2 lessons will be more than enough. In 2 lessons, we can cover all the rules and regulations, and then simply go for your road test.
Beautiful. Before we leave, where do you see Bajaj Driving School 5 years from now, and do you plan to grow beyond Sudbury?
Yes, definitely. This is about not just serving now Sudbury. We want to serve other communities as well, around the cities as well, other cities too. So yes, definitely we are looking forward to expand our Bajaj Driving School in different cities as well. We have already reached to the Espanola now. Probably soon, by the end of this year, we'll be planning to open something in North Bay as well. So we are looking forward to open and grow. We are more than happy to welcome if someone wants to become a driving instructor. Don't hesitate, give me a call, and I will guide them from steps to step to become a driving instructor, or just in case if someone wants to open their own school as well, I'll be more than happy to help them to open that too.
Thank you so much, Gurmanji, for this wonderful insights and for your valuable time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's all pleasure. Thank you.